Okay, what did I trade today? The only things I traded was SPY, Amazon, and Nvidia. Um, Super gutted to have missed Tesla. It was all in the chat. I just didn't take it. And then Palantir. I really wanted to trade it. It's just so expensive because I have earnings on Monday. So let's go through what I did trade. Honestly, this morning I couldn't be bothered, so I didn't do too much. I'm gonna mark my opens here. I traded Nvidia. I got into next week's contracts. I'm just feeling fairly confident about it overall, and I can show you why. Let's look at the 12-hour and the weekly. I wanted for, pardon me, I wanted to hit this target obviously, and we have this 122 on Nvidia's week. The month, I want the month to trigger, which I believe it did. Yeah, so I want the month to trigger and then go up here, right? So I'm feeling pretty good about Nvidia overall, and we can make this a monthly broadening formation. So yes, I'm pretty bullish on Nvidia. I may get kicked out of some of this right there. 1 second. That's what I get for live trading. Let me get out of that. Or maybe it's kicked me out. Yeah, it did. Okay. Okay. I'm also debating. Don't tell anyone because this is so ridiculous. But shorting SPY, like SPY flipping the day with like an hour and a half left. I would love to see this, so I'm gonna sit in that, and we'll see. And what I would love to see is a 122 on the 15 to put this as an inside 30. That triggers down, and then I get the hour to trigger. Why did I move that? Okay, and then I get the hour to trigger this 322. That's what I'm wanting. A bit hectic, but we'll see. Anyway, Nvidia, I got in right here and just sort of hung out. And then Amazon, I got in on this 15. It's a reversal 15 and not an ideal entry. So that's not true. The entry is fine. I should have exited and then gotten back in. But I didn't. So I had to live through this 15 minutes before a 30-minute and a 30 and hourly flip, which was just like less than ideal. But this was my entry, as you can see, like that. So smarter thing would have been, I don't even know if it would have been smarter because you would trigger this double inside 30, but it all came back. So this 15 minutes was pretty painful. And I added here because I'd sat through all of that pain on a 0 day, so I was down a little bit. But that's what I did on Amazon, and it just went to a high of day, was around where I took my profit. Because it went high of day, went up, and it came back to it, and that's where I got out. I was scaling out of 0 days, and then when that happened, I got out of my next week contracts. So here I enter 0 days in next week. This pullback, I exited some 0 days. Here I added more 0 days and more next week. And then it went up. Okay. And also I traded SPY. And my SPY entry was not on the 15. I believe it was on a 5. It was a bit cheeky. Yeah, I took a 3-2. It's already marked. Lovely. I took a 3-2 on SPY here. Because the hour triggered down and then came back up, and I just, we've been seeing this lately, so I figured we may go outside hour. And we did, right? So we went outside 5. I took that 3-2, and then my 15 also showed some really strong momentum. So you could have also taken this failed 2 down, 15 up. but I didn't add because I was playing 0 days and I just didn't, you know. Okay, so that's what I traded, and then you can see when it all hit, so like and then I got out there and I left runners for ADR. That was specific to spy. I got out somewhere at the top of this, probably likely, I can show you on the 5. Yeah, with this pullback. When this flipped red, I got out of my 0 days. I just don't want to lose any money. And I held for ADR. It's not happening. Again, I want it to flip. So we'll see. And that's what happened. So SPY, NVIDIA, and Amazon all went up. All had a really great time. So, and I want to put them next to each other so you can sort of see how fun this can be. NVIDIA. So I had such a fun day. Everything does this at the same, like in the same time frame. And by time frame, I mean like the same time of day. So my crosshatch, like where my mouse is the same across the board. So you can see this green bar on NVIDIA is this green bar on Amazon is this green bar on SPY, right? So this ride up was across the board. So what that does is like it really pumps my portfolio at one time, right? So when it's going up, I'm moving my stops up, because what I don't want to happen is something like this and I'm watching too much shit, right? Anyway, so that was super fun. Loved that ride up. Amazon actually kept going for a little bit, so I kept my next week contracts and eventually got kicked out when it came back there. But let's look at, no, it was a 30. Let's look at the 30. And then this is what I did. So fun. So fun. Honestly though, if SPY triggers this back up, I may just flip long. Double inside 30. But if it triggers an inside 30, hopefully the 15 can stay inside, that'd be great. Then we would go to ADR like I initially predicted. Man, flipping the day would be so much more fun, but I digress. Okay. I may have to take a trade while I'm doing this. Okay, so did that. Then I decided I'm going to short the shit out of this. And I said in the chat something about like degen behavior to short this NVIDIA 30. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I think this is where I said it. Today is the 2nd, but that's in April. It doesn't matter. You can go back and look. I wanted this 30-minute on NVIDIA, right? We had that run up, which was really aggressive and fun, right? But this shooter on NVIDIA's 30, and I'm going to give you a few more screens to look at. That shooter on NVIDIA's 30 was also this 15, right? So I didn't trade this 15 down, and then I saw this inside 15, and I mentioned like I will take this shooter 30, I don't care. And it triggered. So I actually took this shooter 15 that triggered the shooter 30. Let me pull it up, right? So this was my entry. Down, right? Shooter 15 that triggers this shooter 30. I didn't add because I was doing some 0 day nonsense. But that would be an add that triggers this hourly 122, right? You see that? So I was trading this down with no remorse. And honestly, I wanted to get to hourly mag, but you know, you take what you can get. So I took that down, and Maria was like talking about, she was like, I bet you're making bank. I loved it. It was such a fun trade. At the same time, I took, what is SPY doing? Come on. Let me get into this. Hold on. Ooh, Speaking of degens, 2 o'clock on a Friday. All right. Inside 5. Yeah, let's do it. All right, this alert that I just moved is now my new stop. This thing's gonna go to the sky. Let's see, what is NVIDIA doing right now? Because I just got kicked out of that, didn't I? Okay, we can wait. We can wait on NVIDIA. The hour, still half an hour for the hour. Okay, and then SPY. Yeah. I think I'm gonna add more actually. 1 second. Okay, cool. So we are at 167.62, and I want to get to ADR, so I'm actually gonna buy the 169s and see how we go. That's my logic there. Would love for that to go absolutely mental. Okay. Super fun. Anyway, what else did I do? I shorted NVIDIA, and then I also shorted Amazon here. Because again, like now I'm shorting, right? So I shorted Amazon here, down. And I shorted SPY. Which is why I said in the chat I wanted it to go, I wanted it to flip the day. I took this inside 5 and wrote it down. And because it was a 0 day, I got like, I don't know, 40%. Because if you look at SPY across the board, this was just an average trade, right? You have this inside 15 and it just kind of goes down for half an hour. Nothing to truly write home about. So that's what I did. I just like really enjoyed being able to get in, flip, get out, make money on that downside, and I'm about to make more money on the upside, I think, with this SPY, and with whatever NVIDIA does. So yeah, that's what I meant when I said just like, this was just a good, fun day of pretty straightforward trading. Gave a little bit of money back trying to be, sniper entry and quick with everything. But it is what it is. I had a really good time. These are the 3 that I traded: SPY, Amazon, NVIDIA. I'm going to go because I do want to take this NVIDIA trade. Let's see. I just want a better entry. Did I miss a fiver? I did. Okay. I think I'll have to wait on the hour. That's 20 minutes. We'll see. We will see what I do on NVIDIA. But look at this SPY. Let's go. First, I want to get to high of day. So I'll put that first. Come on. But yeah, that's what I did today. Super fun. Had a great time. And now I'm watching this. Microsoft, if we're talking about new things, Microsoft could have a really interesting next week because it's in this gap, right? If I'm in a yellow box, I'm in a gap. They had earnings, I believe, yeah, which shot them up, but we haven't filled this gap. I want to see Microsoft at all-time highs. What does the month look like? That is so crazy. This is part of why I haven't traded it. I'm just not sure with a gap like this how I feel, but it does look pretty prime. Okay, I'm gonna trade this.